and just start to tune into this Monday morning, tuning into the body. Just nod the head a little bit so the back of the skull slides on the floor. And then as you relax your shoulders, your throat and your face, feel that you've given yourself a tiny bit more space in the back of the neck. Take a deep inhale, deep into the torso. And as you exhale, feel the body getting a little bit heavier, releasing itself into the floor just a little bit more. And try that a couple more times, taking a deep inhale and even taking the inhale into the back of the body. And then as you exhale, can you give the body permission just to be soft and let go? Last breath like that. And just sweep the arms overhead. And as you take the fingertips back, palms facing, can you draw the shoulder blades down the back a little bit? And then again, relax the upper back, relax the back of the skull. And from the navel, breathe into the body from the navel to the fingertips. Take another breath here, finding a bit of space. And then bring the arms back down. Take hold of your brick or your paperback or your cushion. Push into the feet and just slide the brick underneath the pelvis. So the flat brick should meet the flat part of the pelvis, the sacrum, so that as you let the arms release to the sides again, you can let the weight sink into the brick. So again, take a deep breath in all the way down to the pelvis. And as you exhale, see if you can release the pelvis into the brick. So let it go. A real sense of softening with your exhale and finding space with your inhale. So breathing in, see if you can iron out any little creases where the breath isn't reaching. And then feel the pelvis heavy once more. As you inhale next time, take the arms overhead. Maybe the thumbs are on the floor, doesn't matter if they're not. Palms facing. And here, can you breathe from the pelvis to the fingertips? And as you exhale, bring the arms back down to the side. So just moving the shoulders here, the upper back firmly grounded into the floor. Inhale, taking the arms overhead. And exhale, bringing them back down. Keeping the pelvis heavy into the brick. Just do 2 more breaths like that. One more. And as you bring your arms down, bring the right knee to join the hands. And you can take hold of the back of the right thigh or the shin. If you need to adjust your brick to keep it comfortable, then go ahead and do that. So we still should feel not pokey. The brick shouldn't feel pokey. So hold on to the right knee. Hug it in towards the rib cage. And then start to straighten your left leg along the floor. So the heel is still touching the floor. Rather than dangling in midair. And we slowly, sort of gently hug that right knee in. And can you start to feel an opening in the front of your left hip? Have another breath here. Nice. Start to firm the left leg. So you're feeling as if you're going to hug that left leg into the midline. So the inner left thigh rolls towards the floor, the knee and the toes point to the ceiling. Extend it a little bit, see if you can feel it lengthening from the pelvis, and then lift the foot off the floor and show the sole of your foot to the ceiling. So you're still holding your right knee. Nice. Take the right foot to join the left foot as you release the right knee. So both feet pointing to the ceiling. And then keep the right leg where it is and hug your left knee in towards the ribs. And then start to lower your right heel to the floor, lengthening that leg as you go. Nice. So you're hugging your left knee in. Your right leg is lengthening from the brick to the heel, and the heel's gently resting on the floor. So you shouldn't feel this uncomfortable in your low back. If you do, just bend your knees, ground your feet, adjust the brick. And breathe into the front of that right hip flexor. Feel the leg lengthening from the navel to the heel. Let's take another breath here. And then start to firm that right leg. So rolling the inner right leg down towards the floor, the knee, the toes face the ceiling, and then lift that right leg. Show the sole of your foot to the ceiling. Join the left foot to the right foot. Take the arms overhead. And reach from the pelvis into the feet, from the pelvis into the fingertips. Take a breath here, and then bring your feet to the floor. Push into the floor. Slide your brick out and just hug the knees in. And have a little rock and roll. Great, just release the knees, take the shins parallel to the floor, hug the knees and the ankles together, and then as you exhale next time, take both knees to the right, to the floor. Take a breath in this twist. Inhale through the center, take the knees to the left. Take a breath in this twist. Inhale through the center, roll to your right side and come up onto the hands and knees. Let's have the hands underneath your shoulders, the knees underneath your hips. And as you inhale, almost feel as if you're going to drag the hands back to the knees and lengthen the spine as you exhale. Push into the hands and really round the spine to the ceiling. You can have a little sway here if it feels good to reach some of the parts around the back and the pelvis that you can't reach otherwise. Inhale, lengthen, almost feel that dragging sensation of the heels of your hands to the knees. And exhale into cat pose. Nice, just do that twice more. Inhaling. Feel the whole of the spine move in a wave as you move between the inhale and the exhale. Last one. Great, keep the hips high as you walk the hands forwards. You can keep the hands really wide here. They might even want to come off your mat. And then start to bow so the chest comes towards the floor. And you might have your head on the floor, but it doesn't matter if you don't. If this is strong on the shoulders, you can take the hands a bit wider. You can ground the hands if that helps. Pushing back from the hands to the hips, the sit bones broaden. And then just take a few breaths and focus on that sensation of melting at the back of the heart. So your shoulder blades melt towards each other. The chest melts towards the floor. Puppy dog. Knees on the floor, Ali. Yeah. And walk the hands forwards. And bow the chest. Yeah, there we go. Just lift the head off the floor, but stay bowing here. Walk the left hand to the left and take the right hand on top of the left hand. And then as you bow again, reach back through that right sit bone. Breathe into the right side. When you're ready, come through the center, take that to the other side. So right hand to the right, left hand on top. And then sit back a little so you get this opening through the whole of that left side. Lovely. Take a breath into the left lung. Come back to the center, keep the hips lifted, your left hand to the middle of the mat. Bend this left elbow as you take the right shoulder to the floor in a twist. So reaching through. Yeah. And if you press into that the left hand, wrap the left shoulder into the back of the rib cage. Reaching through the right fingertips, then breathe into that twist. Take one more breath here. And then push into the left hand to come up and change to the other side. So as you thread your left arm under, take the left shoulder down, the left palm up. Your right elbow is bent so that you can press into that hand, wrap the right shoulder blade round, and then breathe into the upper back. Lovely. Take one more breath there. And then come back to the center, bring the hands back under the shoulders, tuck the toes. You can have the hands a little bit further forwards for this. Give yourself lots of space as we come up into downward facing dog. Bend your right knee really deeply, stretch back through the left, and as you stretch back through the left heel, can you lift the left sit bone towards the ceiling and feel the whole of the back of that leg open up a little bit. Try that on the other side, bending your left knee and lift the right sit bone a little more as you reach the heel back. Good. Come up onto the tiptoes, lift the hips high, and then you can soften the knees as much as you wish. Let the heels start to release towards the back of the mat. So you're not trying to ground them. You're almost feeling that you're stretching the soles of the feet. Inhale, lift the right leg high up to the ceiling, and then with care, take your weight forwards and bring your left knee to the floor. So we end up left knee down, right leg out. Great, so then we're going to start to take the weight into the left hand, the left knee. As you stack the hips, stack the shoulders, take the right arm up. And then firm your right leg. So really feel as if you're pushing through the heel. And you should feel that right buttock say hello to you. Nice. Look up. Take another breath. Great. Now can you bend your right knee, reach back for your right foot and take it into a thigh stretch. So here again, we need to really roll the right shoulder blade into the back of the rib cage. Lovely. Gently push the foot into the hand and feel that open up the chest. Take another breath. Great. Release that right foot. Take the right hand down. Square yourself to the mat again. Now you can bring the right foot down, or for a little more challenge, you can keep that right leg lifted, tuck the left toes and push back up into three-legged dog. Well done. Bring the right foot down. Good. And just walk through the feet a little bit. Open up the back of the legs. Inhale, lift the left leg high, three-legged dog. With care, so keep your hands and arms strong as you take the weight forwards and bring the right knee down. So don't let it clonk. Nice. And keep that left leg feeling really strong. So push out through the heel. Then we can start to take the weight into the right knee, the right hand, stack the shoulders, stack the chest, and lift the gaze. So if your shoulders don't like this, you can have your hand on your hip, that's fine. Still work on taking the shoulder blades into the back of the heart. And then can you make your left leg really strong? So you should feel this around the outside of the buttock. That's having to work here. Take another breath. And then bend the left knee, reach back for the left ankle or foot. Lengthen the tailbone here. So we're not arching the back too much. You should feel that opening in the front of the left hip. And then start to open the chest, shoulder blades into the back of the heart. Take another breath. Well done. Release the foot. Take the left hand to the floor. Square yourself down to the mat. If you want to, you can just put the left foot down and press back. Otherwise, keep the left leg lifted and push back up, three-legged dog. Lovely. Take the left foot next to the right. Downward facing dog. Start to walk the hands back to the feet. Soften the knees. So deeply bending the knees. And feel the spine lengthen. Let go of the head, the neck. And take hold of your elbows. As you let the arms release, can you feel the traction as gravity starts to lengthen the crown, the elbows to the floor? And take another breath, Uttanasana. Lovely. Start to roll up to standing, so toning the belly. Shoulders slide into the back of the heart as you come all the way up. Sweep the arms up. Grounding through the feet. As you root into the feet, can you lift the heart and look up? Take the left hand to the back of the sacrum. So you're really pressing the hand into the middle of the pelvis, trying to wrap your left shoulder blade round the back of the ribs, and then reach up through the right fingertips. Nice. Sweep the left arm up. Try that on the right. So the right hand comes into the back of the sacrum as you hug that elbow back, opening up the chest, and reach up with the left fingertips. Lovely. Bring the left hand to join the right. Lengthen the tailbone. Squeeze the shoulder blades into the back of the heart, and then lift the heart. And take the ears back and the throat back, so you're not letting the head collapse here. You're rooting into the feet and lifting the chest. Take another breath. Lovely. Sweep both arms up. And then exhale, hands to the heart. Come to the front of your mat. When you're ready, sweep the arms up. Inhale. Soften the knees to exhale and fold Uttanasana. Halfway inhale, lengthen forwards, hands to the shins. And as you exhale, step all the way back to downward facing dog. On your next inhale, come forwards into plank. You can drop the knees if you want to. Let's take 3 breaths here. So feel the fingertips press into the floor and feel as if you're tucking the tailbone a little bit. Great, take 2 more breaths. You can drop the knees if you want to, nice and strong. Good, take an inhale, and as you exhale, lower to your belly. Well done. Take the hands off the mat. So you've got a really wide stance of your hands, if you like. Hug the feet towards each other, inner thighs draw towards each other. Press the feet into the floor, and then inhale into a little wide cobra. It gives you a little bit more space. So we'll do this twice more. Exhale and lower. Good. Push into the hands, shoulder blades, squeeze in as you inhale and lift the heart. Can you feel a stretch on the belly? Exhale. Last one, rooting in. Shoulders draw down towards your back pockets. Inhale. Lovely. Exhale, bring the hands closer to the chest, tuck the toes, and find your way back up into downward facing dog. And take 2 breaths. Nice, lifting the hips high. The knees can be soft. See if you can get even higher as you press from the hands to the hips. Lovely. 1 more breath. And then look to the front of the mat. And step or jump forwards. Inhale as you lengthen, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale and fold. Sweep the arms wide and come all the way up. Urdhva Hastasana, reaching the fingers high. Exhale, hands to the heart. We'll do that again. Inhale. Exhale, float down. Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen forwards. Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale into plank and hold it 3 breaths. Drop the knees if you need to. Can you feel as if you're hugging the arms towards each other? Lengthening from the heels to the crown. Have your shoulders drawing back. Crown lengthening forwards. Great. One more breath. Inhale. As you exhale, control your descent to your belly. Take the hands wide. Push down as you draw the shoulder blades in towards each other and come up into cobra. Exhale. Releasing, hands really wide, even off your mat. Press down, squeeze the shoulder blades, lift with your inhale. Exhale. Last one in your own time. Really enjoy that sensation of spaciousness as you lift up. Exhale, hands back in, tuck the toes, and find downward facing dog. Steady the breath. Well done. Hands strong. Can you draw the shoulder blades away from the ears? Let the head release towards the floor. Yeah, give the head a little shake. Release that tension. That looks great. Lovely. And then looking to the hands, jump or step forwards. Half forward fold, hands to the shins. Exhale and fold. Sweep the arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, take the arms up. As you exhale, hug the right knee in. Good. Keep the knee lifted as you inhale. As you exhale, just try this. You can put the foot down if you need to. Your exhale takes your hands to the floor and you straighten your right leg out behind you. Well done. Bend the left knee, take the right foot back into a long lunge. And then your inhale is going to take you up into Anjali Asana. Reach up through the fingertips. Exhale and feel as if you're squeezing the tips of the shoulder blades into the back of the heart. Good, so you're high on the ball of the back foot. So we turn the pelvis forwards. Inhale, reach up through the fingertips and exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades in again. Great, inhale. Exhale, squeeze in. Good, one more, inhale. Exhale, squeeze, good, sweep the arms up, inhale. Exhale, hands to the floor, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale forwards into plank, take 2 breaths this time. Knees down if you need to. Good, take an inhale as you exhale, lower. Keep the hands narrow this time. Press the feet into the floor. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, release. Good, and find your way back to downward facing dog. Look to the thumbs. Step or jump forwards. Inhaling. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms rise. As you come up, exhale, hands to the heart. Last one. On the other side, inhale. Exhale. Nope, sorry. I nearly forgot the difficult bit. So we've inhaled here. Your exhale, you hug your left foot, knee in. Your inhale, you leave that knee lifted, take the arms back up. Your exhale, hands to the floor, straighten the left leg out behind you. Really firm the legs. And then bend the right knee, step the left foot back. And take a moment just to hug the feet towards each other. Feel steady here before you inhale into Anjali Asana. Your exhale squeezes the shoulder blades in as the elbows bend. And as you do this, feel the neck lengthening. Inhale, release the arms high. Exhale, squeeze in. Good. Should we do 3 more? Inhale. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale. Last one. Inhale. Really draw the shoulder blades back as you squeeze last time. Good. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the floor, step back into downward facing dog. And then inhale forwards into plank. 2 breaths. Come right up on the tiptoes if you're feeling strong. Good. One more breath. Well done. With control, lower to the belly. Inhale, cobra. And exhale into child's pose. Take the knees wide. Keeping the hands extending forwards. As you press your hands into the mat, can you use that pressure to help to ease the sit bones back towards the heels? And then breathe into the space from the hands to the hips. Tuck the toes, however you need to get here. Start to walk the hands back, lifting the hips back into half forward fold. And then sweep the arms, come all the way up. Keep the arms lifted. Lift the right knee. Find a spot on the wall to keep your balance. And then start to twist towards this right side. Keep the gaze forwards for now. Your right hand reaches back behind you, the left hand to the outside of the left knee. Either keep the gaze forwards and work on twisting the torso if you feel steady enough, and take the gaze back to the right thumb. Good. Keep breathing. Steady and calm breath. One more breath. Come back to the center, keeping that knee lifted, and transition into tree pose. So take a moment to squeeze the right foot into the left thigh. And you can have the hands in prayer, or we can start to reach out through the fingertips. Good. Keep that sensation of pressing the left thigh to the foot into the thigh. Well done. Hands can be on the hips if you rather. Take another breath. Unplug the foot. Bring the hands to the heart as the foot comes down. Inhale, lift the arms, lift the left knee. Great. Keep the gaze forwards as you start to twist the torso. It can be challenging to keep looking forwards. Great. Right hand to the outside of your left knee. Stand tall, really push into your standing leg. If you feel steady, then you can start to take the gaze to the left thumb. Nice. Keep the breath flowing. And take another 2 breaths. Steady, calm breath. Start to unravel. Bringing the arms up. And take it to tree pose. Just taking the foot to the inner thigh, and then push the thigh and the foot together. So it's a really firm action of drawing the pressure into the midline. Your hands can be at your heart, or we can start to take the arms up. Have your gaze steady on one point. And feel that you're rooting into that right foot. Lovely. Lengthen the tailbone. Have another breath. And then bring the hands to the heart, unplug the foot. And then release left foot next to right. Good, come back onto your mat. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands to the floor. And walk the hands forwards if you're at the back of your mat. Walk the hands backwards if you're at the front of the mat. And then take your left knee to the floor. Sweep it round, bring your right foot forwards and sit. Did that work? So your right foot is long. The left foot to the inner right thigh. And just scoop the flesh of the buttocks to the side. And take the hands either side of the hips here and start to push the floor away. As you push the floor away, can you draw the shoulder blades into the back of the rib cage and lift the sternum? Great. So this is the sensation we want to keep, this lift from the hips to the armpits, and then the armpits to the ears as we take the hands forwards either side of that right thigh. So it might mean keeping the lift that you don't come as far forward as you might think you want to. But that's good. So here my hands are only at my knee, but I'm keeping that sense of spaciousness in the front and the back of the body evenly. And then let the head drop. So we keep the lift in the torso, there's lots of space for the breath. And the collarbones stay wide. Take another breath. Good, so we are going to fold. You're going to inhale, get even longer, and then as you exhale, begin to fold. And walk the hands towards the shin or the ankle. You might be at the foot. And bow. Take another breath. Start to walk the hands back when you're ready. Good, and then take your left hand to the outside of that left knee, bring it in, step the left foot over the right thigh, and just hug it in for a moment. So again, we want to get this sense of being right on the top of your sit bones. And if it helps, this can be a really useful thing to do to press the hands into the floor so that we sit really tall, we get as much length through the spine as possible. Then we can start to take it into a twist. So this left big toe joint pushes into the floor, you hug your left knee in, take the left hand behind you, and then start to lever the torso through into a twist. Keep the head nice and loose. If it doesn't want to twist, keep it looking at your right foot. And start to breathe into your twist. And with each breath, feel that you're getting taller with your inhale and then wrapping the torso through into a twist with your exhale. Maggie, relax that right shoulder a bit more. So either put the elbow onto the thigh. Yeah, that looks better. And you can get a bit more leverage, yeah. Lovely, looks great. Take another 2 breaths here. And with your inhale, start to unravel. And then take the left foot, uncrossing it. And just for a moment, we come into wide-legged forward fold. So take your legs wide, sit really tall. And again, hands either side of the hips, start to push the floor away, lift the heart, shoulders draw into the back of the rib cage. And actually, it's quite nice to stay here, so don't feel that you need to take it into a forward fold. As you push into the hands, can you feel that you can actually get a little bit of flexion at the hip anyway? And that helps to open up the adductors. Can you keep the length in the spine and take the fingers forwards? If you find that you collapse, then just stay here. Yeah. And then firm the legs, feel as if you're pressing the thighs towards the floor, but not so much that the heels lift. And if you want to, then you can take your hands forwards, but keep some space in the front of the body between the hips and the rib cage. So there's room for the breath. Let the head release. And slow the breath down. So can you take a really purposeful, slow inhale? And then match it with the exhale, slow and steady. And another breath like that. Coming back to the center, scoop the knees to help them come back in. And this time your left leg is straight, your right foot to the inner left thigh. Again, take the hands to the hips, just to the sides of the hips, push the floor away so that the torso gets long and we lift the chest forwards. So as we think about coming forwards into Janu Sirsasana, try not to lose this space here between the hips and the ribs. So there's room for the diaphragm. So it might mean that the hands just come forwards. We have to use a little bit of muscular energy in the torso to stay lifted. And keep even the throat open. So the feeling is that you're going to offer your chin towards your toes. Right foot to the inner right thigh. So we haven't twisted yet. Janushirasana. So the knee comes out wide, Maggie. Sole of the foot to the inner left thigh. There we go. If you want to, you can then explore how it feels to fold, but feel as if, I mean, some of you might be able to do this, but feel as if you're going to lay the torso along the shin. That's the trajectory, not necessarily the result. And soften the breath. Slow it down. A purposeful long inhale. Keeping the mind clear for the last few minutes of your practice. Coming up, scoop this right knee in and up and step the right foot forwards. Just take a moment to sit really tall. So you might be hugging the shin, or you might have your hands here again, pushing up, pushing the spine up before you then twist. So the feeling is a lift before the twist. Grounding your right big toe joint into the floor as you rotate round that central axis. Lovely. If the neck feels stiff and you feel like that your shoulders are hunching, then take the gaze forwards and work on drawing the shoulder blades down away from the ears and the tips of the ears towards the ceiling. And take another 2 breaths. Inhale back to the center, uncross the legs. Just give them a little waggle. And then bend the knees and come back down onto the floor. If your brick is still handy, hopefully it's not escaped, then bring the feet a little bit closer to the pelvis, push into the feet and slide the brick underneath the sacrum again. So take your time to adjust the brick so it feels comfortable, flat bone on flat brick. Turn the palms up and just take a moment to roll the shoulder blades into the back of the heart so you feel a lift around the sternum and an opening of the collarbones as you then allow the body to start to let go into the brick, the upper body releasing into the floor. Draw the chin down a tiny little bit, feel the back of the neck lengthen before you relax the throat, the jaw, the face. And take a slow and steady inhale. So if it helps, count it in to a count of 4. See if you can breathe without tension coming up to the scapulae, the shoulder blades. And then exhale, feel the body getting just a little heavier. Slow, steady, smooth exhale. Take 2 more breaths like that. You can stay there if you want to, or you can take it into a supported half shoulder stand. So reaching the right foot and then the left foot to the ceiling. If that feels tiring on your legs, you can always bend the knees and rest the heels towards the sit bones. But just getting a little bit more lift, a little bit more of that restorative shoulder stand benefit, the blood coming to the brain. And keep the breath really deliberate. All of your attention on that steady inhale and smooth exhale. Bend the knees. And then take the feet to the floor. Push the feet into the floor to lift the pelvis, slide the brick out, and little by little lay the upper, middle, lower back to the floor. Feel the pelvis heavy. And take a really deep and deliberate breath, slow and steady. And then begin to soften the breath, just let go of that effort. Feel the body letting go into the floor, into the mat. And then straighten the legs out for Shavasana. Letting go of all effort now in the body, in the breath. Feeling the skin of the brow and the cheeks and the jaw soften. Feeling the scalp soften. Feel the back of your body soften into the floor. Feeling the body quiet and the mind quiet. And start to breathe a little more deeply. If you have the time, then stay in Shavasana and enjoy. Otherwise, start to bring a bit more breath and energy into the body. And with that, find some movement, maybe a stretch, maybe hugging in, maybe a combination. And then take your time to come back to seated. Hands together in front of your heart. With great love and with gratitude. Namaste.